it's funny. I've never actually seen the Padres play, but I love San Diego. And the one time I was there, like 7 years ago, I was on the beach, and there was all this seaweed, and there was stuff in the seaweed. And one of the things was this hat, and it's like a.
It's a free hat.
He was talking to you, reaching out to you.
Yeah, it came to me. The ocean brought me this hat. I rescued it.
There we go. Okay, that's when Greg Heinz and I went ice fishing once. He got a set of sunglasses somebody left on the ice.
Yeah.
Well, one thing that we did 2 weeks ago, we went down to Florida to visit my brother-in-law at the Villages. Holy cow! It's a Disney World for retirees. It's got everything, and we might end up buying a property and spend the winters down there.
Oh, thanks.
One of those gated communities.
What's that?
Yeah, Jim, it's a gated community. That is correct.
Are they locking you in or trying to lock people out? Is that
a little bit of both?
Locking gators out.
It's right next to Largo or whatever that Donald Trump's place is.
Well, it was really fun. I got pulled over by a deputy on a golf cart. I was in the turn lane because it said go here, so I did on the phone map, and I discovered, of course, I was on a county road, which is illegal. And I look in my rearview mirror, you got a deputy right there. So he follows me over, turns on the lights. He said, "Do you know what you're doing?" I go, "No." He pulled me out of there and just beat the hell out of me.
You must have. You didn't have a air freshener hanging from your mirror, did you? Is that one?
No. And then the other thing, we're down there, I'm getting my butt kicked by an 85-year-old playing pickleball.
That'll happen.
Yeah.
Be prepared for that.
Well, I would say we've assembled quite a crowd here, so maybe we'll just get started. First of all, just start with a thank you, Brad. I mean, 21 years of service, started in 2000, had 5 years of service at the city. Brad and I go back a long ways. We met originally at the city of Minneapolis. Brad, you've helped out a lot of people. You were always customer focused. He always told me the number one thing is selling. If you're not selling, then you're not in the game. So had a lot of folks reach out to me over the years to say what great lengths you went to help them. We got some pictures of some of that later, but yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you were a steady, especially in this COVID period. I don't know if Anita or Miguel are on here. You cranked out more Meraki Soho routers than anyone. You were the champ of getting those things ready, and worked with customers to make sure that they got up and running. And I can't thank you enough. You just truly, from the bottom of my heart, you've been a steady force. So I tell a story here just so you kind of understand Brad. Brad's always looking out for someone else, right? So I'm at work. He shows up. He tells me he evidently had an interview with Russ Cox and Craig Finseth earlier in the day. And at that time, I knew neither one of those fellows. He shows up at the city and he tells me he got a job interview for me. And I'm like, I didn't know I was looking for a job. He goes, yeah, you have it. And I think he even had it set up for like 4:00 the next day. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm interested in a job. He goes, no, you're going to want this job. So then he tells me about that he went to an interview. And some of you don't know these two fellows, but Brad's about 5 minutes into the interview and he goes, hey, we just need to stop right here. You got the wrong guy. And he said he left them dumbfounded. And then he goes on to say, but I know the guy you need. I got the right guy for you. And then HR was probably more lax back then because they said, well, this is our list. We can't add someone. And Brad says, oh, no, I think you better add one more guy to the list. So
Well,
he
what I
gets
s-
me the interview. I got the job, and then subsequently, years later, I was able to return the favor, and we got Brad into the state.
Well, I'm really appreciative of that. But there's one thing that I said to Russ Cox. He goes, "Well, we're not taking any more apps." I said, "Well, really?" I said, what would you say with the guy that had a 3-year project and $3 million, did it in 6 months, and he did the whole thing for 650 grand. His crew loves him, and everybody else loves him. You got 5 minutes for him? And he looked at me, and goes, "Yeah, we do." That was one of the. I just couldn't even have thought of anybody else that would have fit this job better than Jim Johnson.
Well, I appreciate that you got me here, and it certainly has worked well for me. I enjoy the state, and I think you've enjoyed the state. There's a couple certificates that we'll get you at a later date. I kind of explained in the last one of these we did that the governor actually hand signs them, and he's about a year behind. So, yeah, I figured it was just a rubber stamp signature, but he actually requires himself to sign them. So we'll get a couple of those certificates out to you. And then, did you get the card we sent to you, the virtual card?
No.
Okay, I'll make sure you get that. You didn't get it?
Well, I don't know how to find. Is it in the email?
It went to your personal email.
Let me look.
Your personal email.
Mm,
You never read. Well,
oh yeah. My wife goes, "You've been down here all day already. What are you doing?"
all right.
Did you send it to Brad Shrunk at Outlook.com?
Well, I'll follow up. We'll get it to you. But basically, it's a virtual card that a bunch of us sign. So I'll make sure I get that to you. And then later in the week, we'll hook up. I got all of us here got you something as well. So we'll get you that. I'll probably just drive over to your house and you can tell me more about your foot. But anyhow, so at that, we've got a little bit of a presentation for you. So let me see if I can make sure I can get this working. Okay, can you all see that?
I see JJ.
I see. There we go.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, there he is. There he is.
There it is.
We're gonna start with a little bit of an explanation. So Brad was like the master of automation, and he had a software package called Hotkey, and he could duplicate, he can mass produce, he can get multiple jobs done at the same time. And I don't know if Brad remembers this, but he got a new PC, and security had come to me and basically said they had concerns over this product, and they had asked that we tell Brad that he can't use his hotkey. Needless to say, he made it very apparent and clear to both Bruce and I that he can't live with without the hotkey. So we went and got him an exception so that he would have his hotkey. But now, occasionally, with his hotkey, he could get himself into a little bit of trouble, and things didn't always go the way it planned. And sometimes the wrong configurations got to the wrong places. And I've got a couple pictures that we're going to go through of just little mishaps that Brad created with his hotkey. So here's the first one.
I wondered
you
who
guys
was
thought
the
it was the
cause of that.
snow, but it was really Brad's hotkey that brought the dome down.
We thank you because it got us target field. And
In a game in like Detroit. So the next one's just another situation that his hotkey caused. And Casey can appreciate this as him being a fireman, right? So
I think there's Casey on the call right now.
Yeah, that's, if you look through the smoke, you'll see me.
yeah, I think so. We got another one.
oh dear.
You guys, this is he shut down Texas, right?
Yes.
Windmills, right? Okay, then I've got one more for you.
Oh dear.
And we just keep going.
Krakatoa.
Uh-oh. You guys find out about that, huh?
It was in the logs.
Yes. Open View caught it. Or Solar Winds caught it. I'm sorry. Oh,
Okay.
dear.
Boy, the scripts were working without me.
And then here, this is Minneapolis. He took the lights down.
It's okay.
They're on to me.
Nice one out. Nice one out, Minneapolis.
Another aspect of Brad, for anyone who sat around him, he basically was always working out in his cube. He had one thing or another. His cube was just cluttered, and he was always trying to maintain that specimen of a body he's got, working out in his cube or one thing or another. And he had a lot of imagination. So we got one of him while he's working out. Oh, wait, we missed one. There we go. One more of the hotkey.
Yeah. I love it.
How come? Isn't the ball supposed to be in the bounce ball supposed to be underneath you?
Remember that? You guys,
Yes.
you guys who know what I'm talking about. The next one. So I get a call from our Cisco rep, and I think it was Bill Blackwell. And this is, Brad always would use the force, and he would escalate within Cisco. I think he, by far and away, had the record for how many tack cases he had opened. I don't know. I could ask Bruce or Brad to clarify that, but he definitely would not hesitate. He knew we paid him millions of dollars, and he had no quorums about escalating. In fact, I get this call that he had escalated to the very top of the food chain. I get a call from Bill Blackwell, somewhat concerned because I don't know. He sent Chambers an email or something, and it because of the way he went at it, it got all the way to the top. So we got a lot of activity and a lot of concerns, and I had to calm him down and say, you know what, I can't fault Brad for really wanting to solve the issue. But at the end of the day, he and Chambers walked away from it, and they were both happy.
I wish that was my body.
Brad, I just like the hat you're wearing.
Yeah.
It must have been around Christmas, right?
I only had 2 pictures of Brad, and he was wearing that hat in both of them.
He took up. He may have always been an avid hunter, but he was. There was a while that the club at I guess we were probably Intertech when the skeet and trap shooting started, and he would get together and shoot the clay pigeons, and being told he was quite a shot. I'm a little disturbed by this next picture, but I guess at the same time he's shooting, he's decided to get rid of some of the old inventory that had to get rid of anyhow. And Brad, you just wear that hat everywhere.
I do.
Yeah.
Hey, I
Jim,
recognize
is that
router.
the is that the router from Ada?
Yeah,
it is.
Router
right?
from Ada.
What do you guys recognize that router? Is that an AGS Plus or
It's a CGS
CGS?
Oh dear.
because that's just the 2U chassis. That's a small chassis. No, that one predates Ada's. Ada was a 2500.
Another
I don't
thing.
think I've ever even seen one of those.
Another thing that was constant, and Bruce is on here, right? Bruce, you with us?
Which Bruce?
Zimmerman, did he make this?
No, I'm here.
Yeah.
I just couldn't find the mute. I couldn't find the mute button.
So again, this kind of goes back to letting you know really what kind of person that Brad is, because he was always looking out for the other guy, right? Just like he got me this job at the state. I mean, he was always trying to help other people and promote their abilities. And so at countless occasions, I would get this call, and I know Bruce would get him too, where he would have somebody, and it was someone who, was extremely gifted, and we just had to hire him. We'd have to remind him we can only hire when we're posting, but he was constantly coming up with names and people that he wanted to recommend to us. And literally at all hours of the night, I'd get a call from Brad, say, hey, I just met this guy, and this guy we got to hire. So not all of them really had the skill sets that we needed for the job, but he was, again, it just goes to tell you who Brad is, that he was always trying to help folks out. I've got a couple pictures of some of the people that he represented to Bruce and I as great hires. So here's one of them. Oh, what the heck happened there? Wait a minute. Wait. Something went haywire on me. Hang on.
All right. I was going to say that I thought Bigfoot was a myth, but I guess not.
Were you using
no,
to do that presentation?
Hang on. I'll get it. Okay. Oh, this one I screwed up, but hey, so you guys know that he's a big avid pickleball player.
Mm-hmm.
So he told me, you can use pickleball to influence friends. So here's just a picture of Brad with some of his buddies. I don't know if this was in Florida, Brad, or.
I'm not seeing the
You
picture.
gotta share your screen again.
Oh shit! Well, then I didn't blow it. Hang on, because this will be better this way.
This will be better this way. It's always better this way.
Okay, we ready?
We're ready. Oh, look at that.
Look at that.
I'll be danged.
That hat does a great job keeping the sweat off your brow, Brad.
I know.
Yeah, he even keeps that hat at the pickleball stuff. So, all right. So now back to the folks that he recommended for us to hire. So here's just a couple of them. Oh no, this. Oh dang it! There we go.
Oh yeah, I remember him.
Yeah, he was a good guy.
And here's another one.
Yes, he was. Oh, yeah.
Is that the guy from the Oak Ridge Boys or something?
Here's one more.
Oh.
But with all that said, we did miss on one that Brad recommended that, we both kick ourselves. We should have figured that once in a while he was right. And it's not this fellow, it's the next guy.
Nice tats. Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Always trying to
That's where
help
you got
out.
your degree, Brad.
Yes.
Honorary degree from Albert Einstein. That's good.
All right, now I'm gonna have to stop on sharing because I wasn't as organized as I'd like to be.
That's hard to believe.
Right? So now we're going to go to, we would often get these calls from Brad, and we should have saved some of the recordings, but he was always trying to, help his neighbors and things of this nature. And he always had a good reason for not being able to maybe complete a task or something really outside of his control had taken place. So hang on.
Was that when he tried to get 10 gig to Halleck?
Did he do that?
Well, they're still working it. I wrote up all the configs though. They're ready to go. Jason and Dan Flowers helped me with that.
Hang on.
If I remember right, Brad actually was the first person to ever say to a teacher, "The dog ate my homework." I believe he was the very first person to ever do that.
Exactly. And I think that was an excuse for him to not, something you needed him to get done, but he couldn't get it done, right?
Right, yep. The next time he left it on the stove and turned the burner on, and that happened. That's what happened the second time. But first time it was the dog.
Well,
That was in like 1892 or so.
Well, yeah, he was just a rookie at the state.
Hang on. Well, that's an actual picture. So we thought he was kidding, but there's the dog eating his paperwork.
You gotta share it
You're not
again.
sharing.
Oh, dang it.
Oh, jeez. Saturday Night Live made skits about this stuff.
Hide sharing options.
Anyone recording this stuff for Jim's retirement party?
Yeah, right. Share content. What's going on here?
What's going on here? Sounds like my granddaughter. What's going on here?
So what was the Saturday Night Live skit, Joe?
Well, where they do it, where they can't they can't present what they want to present. Everybody's talking at once. Somebody says, "Oh, your camera's not set right. Oh, you're over here. You're muted." Everybody's saying the common things, but obviously they can't get the meeting going at all because nobody can operate Microsoft Teams.
Well, you know what? I'm stuck.
And everybody's
Can you
giving
just try to share your
suggestions to the guy.
screen, Jim? The screen that your stuff is on, rather than the content.
Yep.
There we go.
Okay, so we'll get you through it.
Oh dear. No wonder the mail was.
Here's the dog sharing event, and then another time we get a call from him, and he's always helping his neighbors. So next time we get a call, he says his neighbor's vehicle is broke down. It's early in the morning. He's got to give him a hand, and then he'll be into work. And so here we got a picture of that.
That's right.
He always brings the beer.
Yeah, and Nicole, and I guess I thought of this one. If this is first thing in the morning, I think of Tommy Wolberg, and Tommy always said you can't start drinking. You can't drink all day unless you start first thing in the morning or something like that.
That's right.
Words to live by.
Right? And then I guess in one more story that Bruce and I had is that during this COVID stuff, and even prior to COVID, Brad always was doing deliveries, home deliveries to Kmart's, deliveries to Fleet Farms and everything. In fact, he had me hook up at a Lakeville Fleet Farm. He calls me and says, "Hey, you got to pick up this router. You're going to meet a guy by the gas pumps at 5:30. You know? I don't know if he's told me to put shades on. I mean, I felt like I was doing a drug deal. But he definitely was always delivering. Bruce and I had to ask him to stop doing this, right? And we don't go to people's houses. We don't make midnight deliveries. But really, it goes back to him and his customer service. We thought we had stopped it, but I'll jump ahead to this picture, and we've got one where we've caught him again doing a home delivery.
I'm just there to help, man.
Yes.
And he's got the hat on.
Yes. Still got the hat on.
So
Jeff, you made the most out of that one picture, I got to say.
There was two pictures actually. There was one other angle, but yeah.
So other than I didn't have my slides in order, that's what we've got for you, Brad. You know what? You always had a great sense of humor, and you always you always were there and you always worked hard. So we can't thank you enough, and we hope you have a great retirement, and we hope that foot heals fast so you can get on that pickleball court.
Well, thank you very much. I do have a couple of regrets. I wish I would have hit it a lot harder on the books and done more in-depth stuff. But working there was your job's only as good as your boss. In my case, boss is. And I always told every new boss, my job is to keep your boss away from you. And all the replies were, thank you. I want to be honest with you. Since I've started there and I've watched the progression of this department, I'm absolutely proud to say that it is a terrific department with extremely talented people that we're saving the taxpayers millions of dollars. And as time goes on, you're hiring, like the guy that you just hired, I think his name is Adam. I mean, he really knows what he's doing. And that happens only through good management and a commitment to the state and the customers. And I have seen nothing but that since I've been there. And I'm absolutely proud to say that, one, I had a hand in getting Jim Johnson the job there. And two, watching the growth of this department has been phenomenal. And I'm just glad I was part of it. And I wish you all the best.
Okay, Brad. So this is Joe Sandberg. Take this in the humor in which it is given. At least I didn't see that hat January 6th at the Capitol.
You weren't going to see it, man.
Okay.
The whole thing's rigged. I don't even bother with politics anymore.
Okay.
Hey, Brad, you do realize you don't have to suck up anymore. You've already retired.
Well, yeah,
no,
I know that.
That's a joke.
And the guy speaking, John Hines, the Barney of Mission Impossible at our job. God, I can't figure. Give it to John; he'll figure it out. Next thing you know, he's got those fiber routers up, and I thought, oh my God, what a great opportunity for him. So, there's just been wonderful, and I have the highest regard for the people I worked with and the management. It just doesn't get any better than that.
This is Joe again. One other thing I'll tell you, Brad, where I messed up. Make sure they take taxes out of your Social Security. Otherwise, you'll get a nice big bill.
Well, you didn't know that I was beaten and quartered over at the tax department before when I had my own business. We didn't pay sales tax. You make sure you pay your taxes right up front, baby. I just said, I don't want to hear from you again. So, oh yeah, pay them taxes. I love all those pictures. Those are great. Thank you for the effort on this.
Who's that guy?
Oh, and I do have a couple of stories about people that amazed me. I was asking Russ Riley about QoS, or not QoS, but MPLS. And he goes, if you look in that book on page 350, it's right there. I said, what? So I go over there and look at, holy shit, it's right there. I said, this isn't fair. Or I was trying to troubleshoot a problem just a few weeks ago, and I spent a couple hours. I said, I got to get Dan Flowers on the phone here. In less than 2 minutes. Oh, yeah, it's over here. I would have never clearly seen that. It was just bang. It was done like that. I was very impressed. And the rest of you guys are just like that. I mean, it's that good. So hats off to all of you. And it was an honor. Joe Sandberg, when I first started working there, was helping me out, and he was extremely patient and always was there for me and had plenty of time when I needed it. And then after about 10 years, I didn't need his help anymore. I could figure it out. And then one other person was Jan. I trained her for 3 months. Then in the end, she got to do more stuff than me. It was very proud that the teacher got ran over by the student. And there's just been so many other things that have happened that I always remember. And, it was a good job, and anyone who complains about working there, either you got a bad boss or you ain't been around enough. And I was around plenty, and this is by far the best place I've ever worked.
Brad, how many years did you work at the state?
21. 21 years and 5 days, or, you know.
But who's counting?
Yeah.
21 years. That's fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah.
You still have that. You still have that weight vest thing that you wear once in a while to work.
Yeah, I wanted a picture of that.
Oh, yeah, it's out in the garage.
I suppose it's pretty baggy now on you.
You wore that in, and I don't know if it was Dan or Casey that came to me to say, "Hey, you better check out Brad. Make sure those aren't an explosives on that vest."
He just wanted to make sure he wasn't, that was the day.
I want a picture of the running parachute. That one was better.
I don't know that one.
Yeah, Brad, you still have it?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't have any photos, but I know you guys were a little concerned because when I got committed to something, I really got committed.
Hey, nobody knows that more than I do. So
that is true.
Hey, Brad, one thing I will say, you were a great storyteller. You were a great relayer of information. The Rotary stories were priceless to me.
Oh, yeah. And he was. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Keep going.
Well, he was just a kind of guy that Jim and I knew, and he was a sincere guy, and he was loyal, and he was just the best. He's really responsible for my career, and I'll be forever grateful for that. I mean, now I didn't even know when I first started working here, I didn't know I had a pension. I remember the letter shows up, and I go, "You're vested." I go, "Well, what am I?" I call Jim. I go, "Well, what does this mean? I'm vested in what?" He goes, "You didn't know you had a pension?" I said, "No, I've been a hustler so long that I didn't bother to read all the paperwork and what my benefits were. So thank you." And today it's a major reason I'm able to retire. It really is. And
didn't you come in on Veterans Day?
I was just gonna tell that story, John. So I get a call at like 8 o'clock, 8:30 in the morning, and Brad's like, "What's going on? Where is everyone?" I don't know if it was President's Day or Veterans Day. I'm like, "Brad, it's a holiday." He goes, "Well, no wonder I got that spot right up front."
I do have another story. When I first started working there, I double jumped 2 switches together.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there in my cube, kind of go, "Wow, this is pretty smart. I got this thing working." All of a sudden I look, and there's one set of eyes. It's Marty looking over my cube like that, whatever it was in World War II they always had. Then there's Jason. And then I think John Hines, and they said, "Are you doing something in your cube here? We got some errors, and we're tracking it right down to you."
I think Dan Hook and I were there too, Brad.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't know. There was a whole crowd of people. It was tough to tell who was there. And yeah, I was trying something creative. I won't do that again.
It's created a spanning tree problem on our land. Yeah. All hell's breaking loose, and we're like, figure it out.
And I'm sitting there thinking, wow, that was pretty smart.
Tied 2 different networks together.
Right. Right. There was another one too. Oh,
It only took you like 15 years to live that one down, right, Brad?
I know. But I was a good sport about it. And then I remember being a Windows bigot. And Jason goes, "Well, Brad, I don't think you're right about that." I said, yeah. About 2 months later, "Please forgive me. Sorry. I didn't know what I was talking about." So there were a lot of other things like that, or some people would just howl when Bick and I would converse about stuff. And, it was just a lot of fun. And then Tom Teisberg and Fran, when we were all there together, I hate to admit it, we got no work done because it was just nothing but laughs. Teisberg gets the thing rolling, and the next thing you know, you're going home.
Well, Brad, this is Joe. I think I'll go chase a few grandchildren, but good luck.
Well, thank you very much. Maybe we'll see you on the pickleball court.
There you go.
I don't know if you ever come over. If you ever come over toward, do you know where Island Lake School is?
Yes, I know where that is.
Yeah, we play all the time out there. They got 6 courts.
Well, Joe's an athlete. Give him a call. He'll come play pickleball.
What time is it, Brad? Every day?
Yeah, almost at 1 o'clock. It's a good time to come over.
Okay, I'll look it up.
All right.
I'll be the one in the Twins hat.
Yep.
Okay,
All right.
Bye-bye.
So Brad, before we depart, I did this at Brad Cornell's. So can you see this?
Yes.
All right, this is for you, buddy.
Thank you.
There you go.
I got scotch in mine. No, I'm just kidding.
Casey and James have already been gone for about an hour now. So.
Don't tell anyone I was drinking on the job.
Damn it, Dave.
So all the best to all of you. And I wish
right,
you continued successes. And there was one more story I had.
Yeah,
let's hear it. I got so pissed at the St. Paul Pioneer Press that this guy was complaining about license plates. Well, I called him up. I said, listen, are you aware of the hundreds of successful projects we've had here? Do you know how good these people are? And they keep this network running, and we rarely have outages. Oh, wait a minute. That's not news, is it? And he said, if you want to complain about these people on a piece of crap software, that's fine. But I'd like you to come down and take a little tour with Jim Johnson here, the director, and he can show you all the good stuff we've done. I think, Jim, you're still waiting for that call, but
it makes me remember another time where you caused a commotion. You show up at the office, and Phil Krinke, who was down on, I think we were OET or Intertech, and you say, come with me. I got an interview with you with, we have a meeting with Phil Krinke, he's a head of a committee, I think the technology committee. And so I'm like, okay, Brad, wait a minute. I run upstairs and I let Sarah Slaughterhoff and Gopal Khanna know, and they're like, well, I guess you have to go, but be careful with what you say. So he was always dragging me into messes. We show up, and this guy's a head of technology. He's got no PC on his desk. His admin assistant reads his emails and then writes down and responds back for him. He doesn't even answer emails. But yeah, Brad was always dragging me into one thing or another.
You didn't mention, Jim was saying, we do a great job in this and that. And I finally looked at Jim. I said, Jim, hang on. I said, Phil, do you think it would be good for your career if the citizens found out that you kicked us out of here that's doing everything for about $50 an hour and you're getting charged $2.50 an hour? Do you think that'd be good for your reelection campaign? That bill was gone just like that.
And now you guys know how he got all the way to Chambers.
Yeah. Well, Bick and I testified in front of the Senate committee, and what was so fun about that was Unisys that was going to try and get the job, and the guy, I just couldn't stand this scumbag from Unisys, that his name was Dan something, and we thwarted Bick, Mr. Research, found out everything about these companies. They were all related. And I could just see him out in the crowd, and his head was completely red. He was going nuts. And then after that, this lady walks up to me. I can't remember her name now. She was our CIO for a little while. And she goes, well, you and Mr. Bick presented yourself very well in front of these people. And I don't know if they're going to listen to you, but thank you very much. And do you remember her name? I don't remember her.
That was a military lady, right?
No, I think it was before that. It was a lady who came from Minnesota State Colleges and Universities. Was that
That's
Parnell?
Something, right?
Carolyn Parnell.
Carolyn?
Yep.
Yeah, there you go.
But I can't tell you how gratifying it was to look at that scumbag's face and knowing I was trying to do something to save our jobs. And Bick was instrumental in all the information. So it was a very, very good thing.
I don't know if I ever heard that story.
Oh, well, when I don't tell you about everything.
Right.
But I always had our best interest in mind, and so that's the way I work. If it's good for me, like you say, you're always selling, and I always was interested in getting the best for us and the taxpayer.
All right, sir. I
thank you
think
so much.
we'll kick you loose, and I'll be in touch because I got something to drop off for you, and I'll make sure you get the card. I don't know what email I've got, but I'll get it to you.
But what I thought was hilarious is the other day, right after the surgery, about 2 hours later, I got two giant Percocets in me, and Jim calls me, "How you doing?" I don't know, man. He said, "Well, don't be taking too many of those things." So. All right. Well, thank you all so much. I wish you all the very best, and life treats you well, and we go from here.
Happy retirement.
Congrats, Brad.
Happy retirement.
Congrats, Brad.
Congrats.
Happy retirement, Brad.
Best of
Thank
luck, Brad.
You'll be missed.
Have a good one, Brad. Congrats.
Just for the humor part.